What's the weatherman here with a brand new video for you guys. And Lord, I have missed you guys. I've not been able to say that in forever. I hope the comment is nothing but a bunch of love because you guys missed me and you were just waiting for me to return.
Move this man!
Let's get right into the video. I'm here to talk to you about the deck that never dies, the deck with more privilege than any other deck in the game. Yes, that is correct. I am talking to you about Blue Eyes White Dragon. So, before we start this off, make sure you click that notification bell, make sure you click subscribe, make sure you leave a comment, like, and share it with like 2 other people. And once you share it with those 2 other people, tell them to share it with 2 other people, because what are you doing? If you're not part of Team 6K, then what are you? What are you? I don't know. I couldn't tell you, but I can tell you now. I'm about to get into this video. So let's get it going. Let's get it going. So I'm going to start off with Blue Eyes Alternative White Dragon. Very easy conditions. Must be special summon from your hand by revealing 1 Blue Eyes White Dragon in our hand. It can only special summon. We can only special summon this card once per turn. Now, this card's name becomes Blue Eyes White Dragon while it is on the field or in the graveyard, which is somewhat important. Not as important in this build or just at the moment, but it is important and it will come up more in the future. And lastly, you can target 1 monster your opponent controls, destroy it. This card cannot attack the turn this is activated. So that doesn't even matter. Activate that effect to stop us from attacking. We're going to do a couple things. We're going to either Xyz summon using this plus a Blue Eyes or a Spirit of White to go into one of our rank 8s, such as if we're going second, we're going to go into Galaxy Eyes Cypher Dragon, maybe snatch a monster. If not, we're going to stack up on top of that, go Galaxy Eyes Full Armor Photon, pop a face-up card. Then we're going to stack on top of that Galaxy Eyes Cypher Blade, and we're going to pop 1 last card on the field. Pretty nice. So you don't care that it can't attack because we just got to do that. Or you're going to normal summon a tuner beside it, being either White Stone of Ancients, White Stone of Legend, or our Sage with Eyes of Blue. Once we summon one of these monsters beside it, we're going to go into our level 9 Synchro, the boss monster of the deck, Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon. Now, Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon is so great. I cannot even explain to you in this video how much I love Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon. So, for starters, neither player can special summon 2 or more monsters at the same time. That is really, really good against Pendulum deck. It pretty much means that they can only Pendulum summon 1 monster. That is gas. They are going to be so hurt by the fact that Spirit Dragon is on the field. They're pretty much going to want to open book or something like that, or else it's going to be a very, very hard game for them to play. Next, once per turn, during either player's turn, when an effect of a card in the graveyard is activated, we can negate the activation. So, if anything, like let's say, for example, Salmon Grates, they've got cards such as Jaguar, right? When this is in the grave, we can shuffle it into the graveyard, into the deck, right? Special summon this card. Guess what? No, they don't. We're going to negate it. You're not going to special summon yourself to the field because we said no. Or maybe they have Foxy in the grave. Maybe they have Foxy and Foxy says, oh, well, you can discard 1 Salmon Grate card, right? To special summon this from the grave. No, you don't. You don't special summon yourself from the graveyard. Why? Because Spirit Dragon says no. It's not possible. It's not happening. So, other than that, you're probably thinking to yourself, man, those are some good effects.
But wait! There's more!
Lastly, during either player's turn, we contribute this Synchro Summon card, special summon 1 Light Dragon type Synchro monster from our extra deck in defense position, but destroy it during end phase. So you're probably saying to yourself, what are we going to summon? Especially if it's just going to destroy itself on end phase and it's in defense, it can't even attack when you summon it. We're going to be summoning Azure Eyes Silver Dragon, the honorary Blue Eyes. That's why he's silver, I guess. Maybe he's just not white enough. I don't know. Don't come for me in the comments. I'm just reading what he says. If this card is special summon, Dragon type monsters we control cannot be targeted or destroyed by card effects until the end of the next turn. Pretty much meaning once we summon this with Azure, our whole field of dragons will now become Cocytus. We cannot be targeted by card effects, cannot be destroyed by card effects. So even if they had something that destroys but doesn't target, we still will be fine. We will stay on the field. You cannot Black Roses because we're going to stay. You can't Zeta us because it targets. You can't book us because it targets. We're pretty much going to be safe from anything that targets or destroys. So that is really nice, really nice. Then next, once per turn during the standby phase, we can target one normal monster in our graveyard and special summon that target. What normal monsters will we be summoning? We're going to be summoning either our Dragon Spirit of White, which on normal or special summon is going to allow us to target one spell trap that our opponent controls and banish it. Then, during either player's turn, if your opponent controls a monster, we contribute this card and special summon one Blue Eyes White Dragon from our hand. So both of those are really great effects. For one, it banishes the back row that we target, which means they're not getting it back. If we banish that Red Rain, it's gone. You can synchro summon your Dark Dragon type again, and guess what? You're not getting it back because it's not in the graveyard. And that same thing goes for any other back row that decks are able to get back from the graveyard. Since we banish, it's pretty much gone from the game permanently. And then second, we contribute ourselves to summon a Blue Eyes. That is great to give us some extra damage when we're attacking. Maybe attack into one monster, tribute Spirit, pull out the Blue Eyes, attack into another monster, or even something just as, let's say we Spirit a White summon and we target a back row such as Breakthrough Skill or Fiendish Chain. They're going to try to target us and negate our effects, but no, we have a Blue Eyes in our hand. And I'm sorry, I didn't stress this enough. Our opponent also has to control a monster, so don't let me get too ahead of myself. Our opponent also has to control a monster, as well as we have to have a Blue Eyes in our hand, which is going to always happen. So let me just go back to what I was saying. You target that Fiendish Chain or that Breakthrough Skill or something, bam, they try to target you to negate it. You tribute summon the Blue Eyes, it's not negated, their back row is banished. Or you target that Book of Moon, well, they're going to try to flip your Spirit of White down so you don't get to attack. Nope. I'm going to tribute summon the Blue Eyes, and now my Blue Eyes is out here safe, and that Book of Moon is gone. Pretty nice. I honestly love Spirit, but to be honest with you, he's really trash in the hand. He pretty much does absolutely nothing. Once he touches your hand, he's probably just going to become discard fodder, in which case you're probably just going to want to summon it from the graveyard using Azura's effect on the standby, which summons a normal monster from our grave. Now, to go back to alternative, I pretty much played 3 copies of it because we played 2 copies of Melody. And what Melody does is it lets us discard 1 card and add up to 2 dragon type monsters with 3,000 attack or more and 2,500 defense or less. So pretty much this card plus any other card just allowing us to discard will not only search for alternative, but it will search for the Blue Eyes that we need to special summon alternative from our hand. So that is also really nice. Now, I'm just going to go and start talking about our tuners here. Sage with Eyes of Blue is pretty much an extra copy of every tuner here. Because of Sage, I don't play 3 White Stone of Ancients. I play 6 White Stone of Ancients. I don't play 1 copy of White Stone of Legend. I play 4 copies of White Stone of Legend. Because Sage on normal summon lets us add 1 level 1 light tuner monster from our deck to our hand. And then, the second effect of Sage lets us target 1 effect monster we control, send it to the graveyard, and if we do, special summon 1 Blue Eyes monster from our deck. So you're pretty much going to have an effect monster, you're going to send Sage to the grave, target the effect monster, bam, you can special summon a Blue Eyes monster, either being Blue Eyes White Dragon or Dragon Spirit of White from our deck. Now, that also goes nice with Galaxy Eyes Cypher Dragon that I was referring to earlier. We can target a face-up monster our opponent controls and take it. Well, if we can't go for game this turn, we can activate Sage on the monster that we took. Now they're not getting their monster back, and we just got a free Blue Eyes, essentially. Really nice, really nice. So, next, let's talk about White Stone of Ancients. Once per turn during the end phase, if this card is in the graveyard, because it was sent there this turn, we can special summon 1 Blue Eyes monster from our deck. So, essentially, because this is in the graveyard, during the end phase, we're going to be able to summon 1 of our Blue Eyes White Dragon or our Dragon Spirit of White to get rid of some back row or something. Really nice. Second effective stone is we are going to be able to banish this from the graveyard, target a Blue Eyes monster in our graveyard, and add it back to our hand. This is how we recycle alternative. Remember earlier I said it doesn't matter that he can't attack because you're going to put him in the grave afterwards. You're either going to Xyz summon, detach it, or you're going to synchro summon, put it back in the grave. Well, when it's your turn again, you're going to be able to banish stone from the graveyard, target this alternative that is in your graveyard, and add it right back to our hand, making it able for us to activate his effect again by revealing a Blue Eyes White Dragon, special summoning him to the field so he can go out there and be the boss that he is. Now, White Stone of Legend, essentially all it does is search for a Blue Eyes White Dragon from our deck when it goes to the graveyard. I will be honest, this is technically probably the least important card in the deck, and I would also go as far as to say this card is not mandatory at all. It's not mandatory at all. The reason that I personally play it is because I want to make sure when I have cards of consonants that it is 100% active. I play 7 tuners. I play 3 Sage, which searches for my 3 stones, and my Stone of Legend, which pretty much means that I have 7 stones. And what Cards of Consonance says is we can discard 1 dragon type tuner monster with 1,000 or less attack, draw 2 cards. So either if you have Cards of Consonance plus White Stone of Legend, Cards of Consonance plus Stone of Ancients, or even Cards of Consonance plus Sage, normal summon Sage, now you can add either your Stone of Ancients or your Legend, and you can discard it to draw 2 cards. So really nice. And it does come up occasionally. Sometimes you have Sage, Cards of Consonance, and maybe you have Alternative in your hand. Well, you can normal summon Sage, search for Legend, use Cards of Consonance to send it to the graveyard to draw 2 cards, and not only will you draw 2 cards with Cards of Consonance, but White Stone of Legend is going to add that Blue Eyes White Dragon to your hand. Now you can special summon Alternative. But it's a decent chance that you're going to draw into Melody anyway, or just draw into a Blue Eyes, but I just like to make it as consistent as possible. The last card in the main deck is Karma Cut, and I'm sure you know about Karma Cut because it has probably ruined your dreams. And I'm sure that it has. It's probably there in your nightmare. Personally, sometimes I go to sleep and I see it, and I'm the one using it. I'm usually on the winning end of it. So my dreams are usually positive, not nightmares. But you can discard 1 card, target 1 face-up monster our opponent controls, banish that target, then banish all cards with the same name as that monster from our opponent's graveyard.
What did he say?
Bro, did you hear me? I'm going to read it one more time because I don't think you in the back heard what I just said. You can target 1 face-up monster your opponent controls, banish that target, and then all cards with the same name as that monster from the opponent's graveyard. So let's say we're going against the mirror match and we're going against Blue Eyes. Let's say they have a Blue Eyes White Dragon on the field and they have 2 Blue Eyes White Dragons in their graveyard. So just because I Karma Cut the 1 Blue Eyes White Dragon that is on the field, I will also be banishing the 2 Blue Eyes White Dragons from their grave, which essentially means now all 3 Blue Eyes White Dragons have just been removed from the game.
Freedom things?
That is great, and that is why personally it's my favorite trap to play in the game, but I can talk to you about the other tech cards that you can play. We'll get into that a little bit later. Now, let's talk about the other cards in our extra deck. I already talked to you about Spirit Dragon, I already talked to you about Azure, and I already kind of went over the Galaxy cards. The remaining 2 cards that we have here is Vermilion. Vermilion is our other level non-synchro that we go into. Once per turn, we can banish 1 tuner from our hand, field, or graveyard, which is pretty nice. Then we can target 1 card on the field and destroy it. Pretty simple. Then if this Synchro Summon card gets destroyed by card effect and sent to the graveyard, we can target the tuner that we banished and add it back to our hand. Actually, it doesn't even have to be the tuner that we banished. It's just a banished tuner. We can target any banished tuner. So even if we banish Sage with Vermilion, but we already activated Stone of Ancients earlier to get our alternative back from the graveyard, well, bam, if they destroyed Vermilion by card effect, now I can get that stone back from my banished pile, or I can get that Sage that I just used from my banished pile and add it back to my hand. Really good and kind of helps with the longevity of the deck. Lastly, we have Croco Dragon. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't summon Croco very often. It is nice to have. This is another card that could be swapped with any other tech slot, but I do like the card. When we Synchro Summon into it, 500 attack and defense for each card in our hand, right? Not really relevant, doesn't matter at all. The part that matters to us is if Synchro Summon, you can draw cards equal to the number of non-tuners used for the Synchro, which we're only going to be using 1 non-tuner. It's going to be Blue Eyes White Dragon or Spirit of White or Alternative. So we're only going to draw 1 card when we summon into this, and then it has the quick effect. You can discard 2 cards, target 1 card on the field, and destroy it. Now, I only typically like to go into this if my hand is really good. I probably need a hand that can not only make a level 9, but probably has tuners in my hand. If I'm going to be honest with you, it probably has Stone of Ancients in my hand, probably has Legend in my hand. Because you're going to have to discard 2 cards, and we play Karma Cut, which already discards 1 card. So most hands are not going to be happy about discarding 3 cards. That is a lot. Let's just be real. It's a lot. There are hands that can do it, and I do think I even have some gameplay using it. It is really, really good. Last thing that there is to talk about is the skill itself. We play Ultimate Dragons. At the beginning of the duel, add Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon, Neo, Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon, and Blue Eyes Twin Burst to your extra deck, which is nice because we probably wouldn't play any of those cards if it wasn't for the fact that the skill put them there. Then lastly, on turn 3 onward, by revealing 2 Blue Eyes cards in our hand, we can add 1 poly to our hand from outside of the deck, which is nice. That is going to allow us to either fuse into Twin Burst fuse into Ultimate if we just want to get that cutscene off and attack for game, or even certain scenarios go into Neo Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon, which his effect actually does come up sometimes. So at the end of the damage step, if this is the only face-up card you control, which means this card has to be the only monster we have, and this fusion summon card attack, you can send one Blue Eyes fusion monster from your extra deck to the graveyard. This card can attack again, and we can do this up to twice per turn. Then lastly, even though it's probably not going to come up, at least in this build, during other player's turn, when a card or effect is activated and targets a Blue Eyes monster we control, we can banish this card from our graveyard and negate the activation, and if we do, destroy it. So pretty much if we're trying to go for game, we can summon this. With this being the only monster we control, we can attack. Bam, now that we've attacked, we can send Twin Burst to the grave, or honestly send the Ultimate to the grave, and then if we need another attack, we can send Twin Burst to the grave to get that final attack off. So now I'm going to actually get into some gameplay with you guys and show you how the deck fully operates versus players. Let's go. Alrighty, we're going to get into our first replay. We are going against Timelords. I know you guys probably hate Timelords, and that is why I got this clip for you guys. So he's activating his trap. He's going to let him shuffle back a Time Lord and then set a trap from his deck. He's setting Infinite Machine. He's going to summon his Time Lord now, and he's going to pass. So our hand is very simple. We don't have much in our hand, right? We just have Sage, a Tuner, 2 Karma Cuts, and Melody. So we're going to go very simple. We're going to search for a Stone of Ancients. Now that we have Stone of Ancients, we're going to discard that Stone of Ancients using the Melody to search for an alternative and a Blue Eyes White Dragon. So now not only are we going to be able to synchro into our level 9 synchro, during the end phase we're going to be able to summon a Blue Eyes White Dragon or a Spirit of White from the deck. So we're going to go into Spirit Dragon. No reason to go Croco. Set our Karmas. Now, summon a Spirit of White. Manage that back row. Infinite Machine. Now before I go any further, I kind of want to talk about this because I cannot stress this enough. Going first, if you have the ability to summon Spirit of White, honestly, I would do it. There are some, I think there's a replay in here where I didn't do it, and personally you should, because even if there is no back row to remove, if you have a Blue Eyes in your hand, you can always get Spirit of White into the graveyard and summon the Blue Eyes, and then with Spirit Dragon on the field, right here, you can always tag out into Azure. This is going to allow you to, if they don't have back row because you went first, well, they're going to go second, they're going to set some back row. Now when it's your turn again, you've tributed that Spirit of White, you're going to summon Azure, Azure's going to resummon Spirit of White, and bam, you're going to be able to hit that back row. That's just something I want to point out very quickly. So he's going to send himself back. I see no reason to stop him. Another Time Lord. Machine, he's using it to draw a card. Not draw a card, to set a card, set an Infinite Machine. Battle phase. I am going to discard our Stone of Legend. Technically a misplay also. Not also, there is no other misplay in this clip. What I should have done was tribute Spirit of White, Blue Eyes, then activate Karma Cut, get rid of his monster, because now my Spirit of White would be in the grave. I would tag out into Azure, and Azure would bring back Spirit of White to banish that back row. But it doesn't matter, honestly, too deeply, and I knew it didn't matter, which is why I didn't do it. But technically speaking, if you want to be a pro gamer, that is the move that you should have made. So don't actually do what I did in the clip. So now we're going to summon alternative. We're going to set, and we're going to go in. Doesn't matter. What's he going to do? Summon a Time Lord that I'm going to Karma Cut? It's game either way. I believe we were going against Code Talkers, and this hand isn't even amazing, to be honest with you. We pretty much just have the ability to summon Spirit Dragon as well as get a Blue Eyes on end phase. So we're going to activate Melody, and we're going to send Stone to the grave to search for alternative and a Blue Eyes. So now we're going to special summon alternative. Go. I might as well let you guys see one of them things, because come on, is that not beautiful? Is that not just absolutely beautiful? Alternative is hit the field, we're going to normal summon our other tuner, being the Legend, and now we are going to synchro into Spirit Dragon. So what we have right now is they cannot special summon 2 or more monsters at the same time, which is kind of irrelevant versus this deck. I believe this is Code Talker, they don't really care, but we do still have a grave effect, which is nice, and we're going to add a Blue Eyes because we send Legend to grave. So a little bit of card advantage. Now we're going to summon the last Blue Eyes from our deck. Finishing off, look at that beauty. Look at that beauty. So now it's them, and they're gonna go on their plays. Now, technically speaking, I probably should have summoned my blue eyes in the middle. It really, like, to be honest, but you can avoid being pointed at by a lake monster. You should avoid it. I'm just too used to summoning my cards left, right, middle. So that was just a personal thing of mine. Now, it doesn't really matter, which is, you know, why I didn't think about it too deeply, but you should avoid being pointed at by the monsters. So he's going in right now. He has a really solid hand. We have Azure. He tried to book our Spirit Dragon, but our Spirit Dragon tagged out into Azure. So now our field is untargetable and we cannot be destroyed by card effects. Keep that in mind. So now he's going in. He's linking up using the microcoder. Coming out his decode talker. We don't got to see his animation because he's not a blue eyes white dragon, so who cares? So he's still going, making his plays. I believe he's trying to end on a firewall dragon. Find it back door. See this deck in Duel Links, man. It's so nice. I love seeing us be able to combo off even more in the game now. I can't wait till we're fully at the Master Duel route. But we're getting there. We are almost there. So now he's got Firewall Dragon, which let me just read Firewall Dragon for you guys. Once while face up on the field, you can target monsters on the field and or graveyard up to the number of monsters calling to this card, return them to hand. If a monster this card points to destroy by battle and sent to the graveyard, you can special summon one Cyberse monster from your hand. So, I don't know if you remember, but he can't target us. So if he does activate it, the only thing that he can return is a card from our graveyard. I'm not exactly sure why he attacked into my Azure. Maybe to just make his beating a little easier for me. I don't know. I'm not 100%. So now it's on us. We're going to activate Stone to get that alternative back from the graveyard. And we're going to reveal a Blue Eyes White Dragon special summon alternative. Going to pop his Firewall. He's going for Sign It Backdoor to banish it so that he can get his Firewall back. A lot of things with this hand. We're activating Ultimate Dragons. And we're going to Holly. I just want you guys to know that there were a couple routes we could have went. We had 2 level 8s on the field, so we were capable of making a rank 8. Rank 8 could have snatched a monster, or instead of snatching a monster, we could just go into the next Xyz, stack him on top, be able to pop a face-up card, then stack another one on top, be able to pop another card, and then activate Ultimate Dragons to go for game. This game was both of our rank-up games. Am I even Blue Eyes if I don't get to go against Dark Magician? So we're going first. We're going to activate Cards of Consonance, discard our Ancients, draw 2 cards, and all we did was set the stone. Yes, I could have saged it 100%. I see no reason to. Our last Blue Eyes was in the deck, so there was no reason for me to save it, and there was no reason for me to sage it. I don't know why I'm getting so tongue-tied. So in my eyes, I thought it would be much better for me to keep this sage in my hand for a follow-up play and just summon the Blue Eyes and keep the stone there just to protect my life points. This is not a great hand, as you can see, but it is a alrighty kind of survival hand. So, summon his Dark Magician. I will allow the animation out of respect for Undead. I will let the Dark Magician animation go through. However, this isn't Undead, so I'm going to clap him. There's no Dark Magician player that I will lose to if it's not Undead. So he banishes my Dark Magician using the circle, activates the skill, and now he's going to be able to search for his fusion spell, which is going to be nice. Now he's discarding the spell with Apprentice, allowing him to search for a Dark Magician. And now he's got 2 monsters on board, as well as a fusion spell, as well as, since he's going to be able to go into the fusion, he's going to be able to, on my turn, if I remove his fusion, summon a Dark Magician and banish me. So he's got 2 cards set. I see, why gamble? I could go for one of the 2 cards. I could hope that I hit the fusion. But at the end of the day, the only card that bothers me is this circle. I don't want him to banish me. So we're going to go for the circle. We're going to get this circle out of here. Our turn again. Deck alternative, which is nice. We're going to normal summon Sage. And he warning pointed us. Oh. What warning point does is it negates our effect. But not only are we negated, but we can't attack. And we cannot be used as fusion, synchro, Xyz, or link material. So this means that this Sage is dead. Not only do I not get my effect, but I can't even synchro into my level 9. So we're going to special summon Alternative. I know he has the fusion spell. We're going to pop Dark Magician to get him to flip up that fusion spell and go into it now. So he flips up the fusion spell. Now he's gone into Dark Magicians. This is a really simple play. We're going to Xyz into Cypher. We're not even going to go up into the other ones. We're just going to take his fusion and we're going to attack. Now remember that when we activate this effect, the only card, right, that can attack directly is the Xyz himself. So it says once per turn we can detach an Xyz material from this card, target a face-up monster your opponent controls. Monsters you control cannot attack your opponent directly for the rest of this turn except this card. So I took his monster. Also, Cypher, the monster that we take, his name becomes Galaxy Eye Cypher Dragon, right? And they also become 3,000 attack, which means we have exact lethal. Get better than this. Blue Eyes is such a beaut, man. I love the deck. It is so fun to play, and it's fairly easy to understand. There are just, I think, playing Blue Eyes, because the deck isn't exactly the most complicated, you do have to have a better understanding of the decks that you're going against. Because a lot of people understand how Blue Eyes works, so you just have to be a better Blue Eyes player and honestly be a better Yu-Gi-Oh player than a lot of the people that you're going against. I appreciate you guys for checking out the video. Thank you guys for showing me love again. Like I said, I missed making videos for you guys, and I am going to be back full time. Make sure you leave a like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. I will see you guys on the other side. Team 6K out.
Hey, I feel like the greatest. Now I feel like they hate it. Now I feel like the only one and there is no debating. Man, I feel like they leaving. Now I feel like they waited. Now I feel like this is the feeling before I can make it. Before I hit the stage, I just feel like I'm nauseous. Or I feel like I'm popping. Or I feel like a boss is. Maybe I'm feeling off it. Or I feel like I'm toxic. Maybe feeling intoxicated is the reason for all this. I wanna whip it with the top down, dog, like I'm Earth Gang. Told him, listen, Wild Day shine like my first name. Told me go and grab a titty boy, it's my first chain. I ain't even switch gears yet, it's the first lane. The first pain I ever felt was the worst pain. Then church came, and that feeling of hurt came. Then her name made this feeling all worth pain. She made me realize what I had felt in the first place.